Hi y'all, Moglax Lives. I think it's time we play Minecraft. Alright. Um, so, uh, I'm working on this a little bit today. A little over an hour or so now. And I got quite a bit of work done in the restaurant so far. I need to go back here to make sure I know what I'm going for, because I keep getting distracted and then I run back and forth. And I don't get what I go after. And so, yeah. Uh, Alright, so, been playing a lot of PlayStation 4 VR, which has been pretty awesome. So I got carpet out here. I got some blue carpet down for my seating. I put some brown carpet down for the top of my counter here. I've been working in the kitchen. I brought in some gray concrete for the floor. I put in a hood. I got to figure out what I'm doing for the ceiling here, because I do need to close this off around the top here. And I don't know why I just have left it open. Maybe I can just put some white concrete in there and call it good. And because I definitely don't want to see my fireplaces up there. So yeah, I just need to get some white concrete. So I need white concrete. I need 2 more of these. I need some oak, some iron, something here. Iron. I think I'll go with iron. I need some iron blocks. I need some cauldrons. I need... You know what? I should probably take this out here as well. I think I like these better if this was stone as well. Those are my ovens. And so we'll get some white concrete around the top here. And then maybe some, I don't know, some quartz slabs to fill in that ceiling. Because I don't want to be able to see those fireplaces from there, right? I put a little chimney on the top here. You can't see it really from down here, but if we go around to the back, put a little chimney there over top of where my hood is. Yeah, I've been playing a lot of PSVR lately. I gotta say, I am very impressed. I cannot wait now for my PC VR. I pre-ordered the Valve Index. Not pre-ordered, I reserved. I should have put a reservation on it earlier, but I thought they were gonna. I thought it was a pre-order, and it's not a pre-order; it's a reservation. So they didn't actually charge me any money, and I wish I'd have known that, because I would have done it back when it was shipping in August instead of when it started shipping in September, because there are so many people who are buying it that they're pushing back the manufacturing dates. Let me look real quick to see what it's up to now. I don't know if I can even look because I already reserved it. Gotta wait for the store to load here. Store, hardware, index. Oh, it just says I've already reserved. Nope, still shipping in September. So, but man, it was shipping in June or August, or July or August the first time I looked, and I was like, ooh, I don't know if I have the money for that, but I have saved up the money for that now, and yeah. I noticed that the place I'm working on, or my new place, isn't even on the map here. So I was thinking I needed to do up some new maps as well. But I came here for white concrete. White concrete. I want blocks of iron. Ooh. Yep. You know what? Totally need to go mining. So, unfortunately, I think we're going to be going mining while I talk. Because I need more iron. I am low on iron. I've been using it quite a bit lately. And I have used up all my stuff. So let's get some room going in here if I can. But yeah, I played. So I got a lot of different games. I bought a lot of different games to go with it, and I haven't even tried out all my games yet. So some of the games are really good. Some of the games that I've played are okay, and some of them are like, oh, this isn't even a great game, but I love it so much. And I am a huge fan of mechs, and so I got this game called Archangel. I don't know how good it's gonna be in the end. I didn't know it was a rail shooter, which rail shooters are okay. But the fact that you're in a mech and they make it feel like you're in a mech is just spectacular to me. It's there's even at the beginning, the opening scenes are you being strapped into your cockpit and then loaded into the head of the mech, and I'm just like, oh, this is mech. And playing in VR is way different than playing regular game. I have to say, it's it's so different than I was expecting. Like I've watched people play VR, and I've never heard anyone talk. I don't watch a lot of videos. So, but all the people I've watched play in VR don't talk about what it's like to play in VR. They just play the game, and then you watch on the screen. But watching on the screen is not the same as being in the game, and I am so impressed by. I was kind of hoping I had left some iron down in here where I strip mined. I could just come down in here and mine it, but I'm not. There we go. I am so impressed by what VR is actually like. Um, and I don't get impressed that often. It, like you're looking at the screen, like the recordings they show of people playing in VR is not what it's like when you're playing in VR. It's so different. It's like um, it's like watching a video of someone playing a toy with a toy versus actually playing with the toy. It is that different. Like, I got this game called Mouse or Moss. Sorry, it's called Moss. Came with my headset. I'm like, all right, and so I'm looking at the screenshots from it and stuff. I'm like, oh, okay, so it's a little puzzler. It's not quite like Zelda, but it's an adventure. It's mostly a puzzler where you try to figure out how to get through the rooms. It's a fantasy game. It's your little mouse. She's got a sword, and she's fighting against these mechanical bugs so far. And so it's you you though control both the mouse and yourself, and yourself in this game is like a forest spirit. You're called the Reader. But when you look down at the water, you look like something from Princess Mononoke. And and so Um, like you go into these places and they're there. Like they're all around you. You can look behind you. Some of the buildings that you go into is the mouse. I've actually stood up and walked around while wearing my VR headset just so I can look at the different parts of the building. And you don't even have to move to play the game because it's played with the controller. And you're supposed to be sitting in the chair playing the game, but I will get up to look because you can walk all around. It's like you're in the middle of the thing. And so last night I played Farpoint for the first time. Farpoint is a first-person shooter, um, and I gotta say it is pretty impressive. It was, man, just to walk around an alien world. Uh, because on that one I bought the controller, the gun controller, the light gun, whatever they call it, the light gun controller. I forget exactly what it's called. To play that with, and so you walk around, and the controller shows up on the screen in your arms as your guns. Like they overlay it with the guns, and so when you move that controller, it moves on screen, just the same way you're moving in real life, and so as you're moving around and you're looking around and you're moving your character on screen, well, not on screen, but your character around, you look down, you see your character's chest. When you move your chest, it moves with you. It's just wow, just wow. I mean, I'm just blown away. And PSVR is not the greatest VR. I was looking at VR, and I pre-ordered the Index because I wanted to finally get into VR, and I had some money for it. And then I'm like, oh, I forgot about PlayStation VR. I should check that out. I've got a PlayStation, and there are all these games for it. And I'm like, okay, some of these games look like they might be fun, and I've seen people play VR games, and they look like me. Okay, I thought it was just going to be like, oh, I turn my head and I can look at a different portion of the screen. No, no, you're in the world. You're in the world. It's crazy. I love it. I love it. And I can't wait to get it on my PC. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to wait. Unless I do something stupid like buy another headset. And I don't think I need 3 VR headsets. Uh, Although my niece and nephew might like it if I had 3 VR headsets. Because those little buggers are all over it too. Uh, I'm blown away at how awesome it is to be in the game. Uh, I can't wait for Index because Index is supposed to have the most advanced hand controllers for VR, and I just can't wait to play a game that immerses me even more. The only thing I don't like about PSVR is the same thing I don't like about what they did years ago, and that's trophies in games. I don't need a trophy in a game. I definitely I definitely don't need a little icon popping up in the middle of my game alerting me that I've won a trophy. I should look to see if there's a spot where you can turn that off. I don't need my VR immersed game to suddenly go, "Oh, here's a black icon with a bronze or gold trophy in the middle of the screen, letting you know that you just got a trophy on a trophy that means nothing." And the thing is that it doesn't even tell you what you got the trophy for. So it's just a trophy icon in the middle of the screen for no reason, letting you know that you got a trophy. I hate that. But yeah, so that's man, it's just ah, uh, everybody's gone today except me. So when I get done recording this, I'm gonna go get some lunch, and then I'm gonna have my VR for the first time, all to myself, all afternoon, and it's gonna be great because so far, I've probably only played a few hours. Maybe I've had it since Thursday. I probably today's Sunday, so Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I bet I haven't played more than 10 hours. in those 3 days because my nephew was on it all day one day. My niece has been on it. My sister's been on it. In fact, the first day I got it, my sister was on it for like 3 hours. She played it longer than I did the first day I got it. And so, I mean, I let them. It's fine. I wasn't like, it's not like they stole it from me. But yeah, it's super super fun. Um, Not everything's been super fun. I do have a game called Detached that I'm gonna have to try again, but it does make me feel nauseous to play that game for some reason. None of the other games have affected me, but Detached makes me dizzy. Uh, I will say, my horribly sedentary life is being slightly upset by VR because my back and shoulders and lats, which are the muscles on the sides of um, your ribs in the back, are sore from the little bit that I've played because I am not used to waving my arms around like that so much. Uh, which just goes to show that I probably don't move enough in real life. But yeah. So I also want to talk about a touchy subject, and this is actually my third time of recording today, trying to get through this subject. I want to talk about it. I just don't like. I mean, I didn't say anything that I wouldn't say. I just don't think I was getting my point across very well. And I wanted to talk about Aladdin. So we went and seen the new Aladdin movie last night, and it was all right. I enjoyed it. Is it something that I want to go out of my way to watch? No, no. In fact, I would probably rather watch the animated one than the live action one. But it was okay. It was better than I thought it was going to be. Will Smith as the genie didn't ruin it like I thought he might. Um, but that's not what I want to talk about. That's not what I want to talk about. One thing I want to talk about is movie flow, and this is a thing that I feel is becoming a bigger and bigger problem as I get older. I don't know if it's just that I notice it more or if it's really becoming a thing, and that is what happened to editing? I don't understand. What happened to writing a story where everything mattered from beginning to end? Like Alfred Hitchcock is known for being a really crazy director, right? And so he would storyboard out his entire movie, and then they would just act doing exactly what he wanted. And I'm not saying that that's the best way to do a movie. Obviously, there's lots of different ways to do a movie. But the thing is that he had already laid out how the movie was going to be, and so he knew what scenes were going to be in the movie. And I feel like, and I've heard it said that one of the things that they do is they film a bunch of scenes and they film them out of order, and and then they take those scenes in the editing room and then they shove them together to be a movie. And a lot of movies are starting to feel like that. And I don't understand these. You've got this going on in your film, and so let's suddenly jump over and do something totally different from what's going on in the movie. And that happened in Aladdin. And that's the thing I kind of want to talk about. It kind of happened in Endgame too. Uh, so you got Endgame, and there's an infamous scene in Endgame now where they basically pose all the female superheroes together. And this is why it's taken me three. This will be my third try to do this because I am all for women empowerment. I I've always called myself a feminist. I believe in the actual definition of feminism, in that I believe all men are created equal. I believe that everybody has the same rights as everybody else. It doesn't matter to me anything about you doesn't matter to me. Now, might I dislike you as a person? Sure. Might you irritate me? Yes. But do I feel you have the same rights as I do? Yeah, definitely. I probably irritate you. So, um, so I am all for women empowerment. I do feel that they definitely could use bigger parts in movies, like the superhero movies. Some of my favorite superheroes are female superheroes. Ow. Uh, and I just hurt my wrist. And so I just, I love Wonder Woman. I'm really, really excited for the new Batwoman. I love Batwoman in the comics. I don't understand all the vitriol that people are having for Batwoman. Uh, I don't get it because the trailer I watched is exactly what Batwoman is in the comic. And I was very pleased they didn't try to do something weird with her, and she's just going to be Batwoman from the comic. And so I don't understand why everybody's so mad. Maybe they know a different Batwoman than I do. They are well within their rights to have their opinion. I just think that opinion's wrong. And so, Jean Grey has always been one of my, or not Jean Grey. I'm not a big fan of Jean Grey. Rogue is one of my favorites. And from X-Men. And I even like Jubilee. I like Jean Grey too. Jean Grey's kind of a non-character to me, though. She's like portrayed as the love interest between Cyclops and Wolverine, and not as an actual character most of the time, which I have a problem with. Storm is a strong character, right? I was trying to think. All I can think of is Angela from Spawn. I've always liked. I was trying to think of what Batgirl, when done right, is really good. I don't like current Batgirl in the comics, but I used to. She used to be my favorite character. Uh, and so it's not like I don't think they have a place or something. I just wish they were integrated. I don't understand this not integrating them. Like, Guardians of the Galaxy's got Gamora. Gamora's integrated into the story very well. Um, Most of the Avengers combined movies have got Black Widow, and I think she's integrated pretty good. She could use a bigger part, but she's integrated pretty good. And then in Endgame, they've got that scene where they've got all the women together, and they're in there for like 3 minutes, and then they're done, and then they're not in the movie anymore. And that is not good integration. I don't understand why they weren't there from the beginning, why they aren't there throughout. The only one that even really has a part is Black Widow, and everybody else is just a side thought. I don't understand why Wanda isn't a huge part of that whole thing, because Thanos killed the only person who was left that cared about her, that really cared about her, in front of her, and she barely gets to confront him. And I'm like, come on, people. Just put them in the movie. It's fine. I don't understand. Um, but so they did something similar in Aladdin, and I don't understand why they did it that way. Uh, and I don't even understand if they understood their own movie. And I don't understand. I don't understand a lot of things. Uh, so they got this new song in Aladdin, which is an okay song and does highlight a real issue. Uh, and uh, and that people I know, who think that a woman's place is to be seen and not heard. That their opinions don't matter, uh, and uh, and that I mean, yep, I'm not gonna go there. So I totally get the sentiment of the new song in Aladdin, "Speechless," and it could have fit Aladdin if that was something that actually happened in the movie. But it didn't happen in the movie, and so I don't understand its point. And this goes back to my comments on flow and storyboarding, is that it felt to me like they're like, what's an issue women have? Like we've got the kind of movie that people profess to hate because it's a girl in a castle being rescued by a knight, right? And so they don't want that kind of movie anymore. Women aren't just princesses in castles, except that Aladdin is about a princess in a castle. So how are we going to change Aladdin so that she's not just a princess in a castle? And so let's not change the story. She's still a princess in a castle that has to be rescued by a knight. Um, but we'll give her a song about how she's speechless. Even though at no point in the movie did anybody try to make her not talk or not share her opinions on something or not make demands or anything like that. Um, Now, were there other issues that she could have sung a song about that would have fit? Definitely, definitely. Being a princess in a castle, I don't think is that big of an issue. Having to have help, which is basically what a rescue is, not as big of an issue. Uh, she was, however, seen as an object. They didn't sing about that. She was being treated by the prince who came in as a prize. Didn't sing about that. Um, she'd been kept. She'd been kept in the castle by her father to keep her safe, and because he didn't want to risk her. I don't know if that's an issue, but the fact that he didn't think she could handle herself, that could be an issue she could have sung about. Um, but at no point in the movie was she not allowed to talk. And the closest they got to that was when she told her father that she was mad because he valued his advisor's opinions more than hers. And that when she spoke, he would rather listen to Jafar than her. I'm not sure that's the same issue, because obviously the royal vizier, who is trained to help run the kingdom, his opinion might matter more than your young daughter trying to tell you how to run the. I mean, she never did. She didn't do it in the movie. This was something that happened before the movie. And so I did not feel like the Speechless song fit what was going on in the movie. And it was just thrown in there to give the movie a female issue. And it just didn't fit the movie. And I get that it's an issue, and it is an important issue, and it should be discussed. And the song was okay. Uh, it just it just didn't fit the movie, and they changed some of the things, uh, uh, like one of the weird things that I thought was that she talks to does she talk to Aladdin in the movie? Um, they indicate that she wants to be Sultan and that she's angry that she can't be Sultan and that she thinks she would make a better leader than the princes. And her father's like, we have 1,000 years of tradition that the princess marries the prince. And so the princess has to marry the prince according to the law. Now, here's the thing that's different than the cartoon movie is that in the cartoon movie, the law was that on her 18th birthday, by her 18th birthday, the princess must wed a prince. I don't know what happens if she doesn't, but she must wed a prince. And so they took out the by 18 part, and so now it's just her father wants her to marry before he dies. That's he's not dying, but he's old, and so he would like her to marry. He's not that old. He is old, but he's not like on death's door, and he wants his daughter to get married before he dies, so she has someone to take care of her. There's another issue they could have sung about. She doesn't need someone to take care of her. She's quite capable of taking care of herself. But that's not the issue they sang about. And so every prince he brought in, she told him whether or not she would marry him, and it was always no. She did not bring up to her father, other than like maybe one time that she wanted to be sultan. She never demonstrated that she was capable of being sultan. That wasn't a thing. Her and Aladdin spoke about it, and he thought she could be sultan, but she never actually demonstrated she had the capabilities. She didn't know anything about the people because she was shocked by how terrible the poor people were being treated. She didn't know anything about money, so obviously that's a big issue because she starts off trying to take someone's bread from their market stall and give it to some hungry people without paying for it. So that's a bit of an issue. So yeah, Jasmine never demonstrated that she was capable of being Sultan, but she wanted to be Sultan. And at no point did she tell anybody really that she wanted to be Sultan. She didn't demand that they stop parading her in front of the princes and just make her Sultan or anything really like that. She didn't come to her father with like plans to change the city so the poor people were fine. In fact, the only person that got told that they couldn't, that their opinion didn't matter was Jafar. Jafar is the one who was kept speechless at one point in the movie, not Jasmine. So it was weird. It was weird to have her sing that song. It was super weird to have her sing that song a second time at the end of the movie. And the whole sequence at the end of the movie with her singing that song is weird because at no other point in the movie have they done a scene where they alter what you're seeing because of the song. Like, sure, the genie uses his magic to change things, but at the end of the movie, Jasmine's being led away by guards, and she suddenly stops when they get her outside the palace on the balcony, and starts singing her "I Won't Be Kept Speechless" song. But is that I can't tell with this rain. Yeah, I think that's a cave. Um, and so she starts singing her "I Won't Be Kept Speechless" song, and the guards just kind of fade away. Oh, there's something up here though. All right, I probably got plenty of iron, so I can head back now. And so, uh, so I'm like, okay, that's weird. Does Jasmine suddenly have magic that we didn't know about? And so she's singing about how she won't kept speechless, and every pair of guards she walks past just vanish. And she like gets in her father's face and sings her song about how she won't be kept speechless, and just basically does that, and all the men disappear. And then once she gets done with her song, well, then suddenly she's back being held by the guards on the balcony because it was just all in her head. And then she turns around and starts telling them, that they can't make her just go. And then she gives a big speech to a guy about. Does Jasmine do anything? No. Jasmine just tells a boy to do what needs to be done. And so it's weird to me to be like, oh, yeah, we've got a princess in a castle that needs to be rescued by the knight, and we frown on those things now for some reason, uh, because how dare anybody ever need help? And so we need to fix this by having her sing about how men try to stop her from being able to give her opinion, or won't listen to her. I don't know. I mean, I feel like you need to demonstrate some capabilities before you can want to be in charge of a country. And she didn't do any of that. Like, if she'd done that, it would have been different. But she didn't do anything. She should have sang a song about how they were keeping her captive. Um, you know, uh, like the part in Captain Marvel where she smashes the ships to Gwen Stefani's "I'm Just a Girl." That's the song that Jasmine needed, was "I'm Just a Girl." That perfectly encapsulated Jasmine's life. But is that song she sang? No. No, but it would have fit way better than it did for Captain Marvel. Uh, it was weird. It's weird. And so I do think that they should deal with, issues like that. I just think you should get the issues that fit your movie and not just randomly. Oh, come on, guys. Not just randomly pick something and be like, oh, yep, that's our issue. That's her issue for this movie. Um, we're not going to change her character so that she, really helps. We're just going to have her sing a song about how she wishes people would do what she says. Not even that she wishes they would listen to her opinion, just that they would do what she's demanding of them to do. Even though I never saw anybody not do what she was demanding them to do, other than she never even tried to leave the castle, or the palace. Is it technically a castle? Do you call that a castle? I don't know. I also don't know where I'm at. Hello? Does anybody know where I live? I'm lost. I can't find my mommy. But yeah. Alright, with that, I'm going to call it a day. Click like if you like, subscribe, share, and catch the next one. I will talk to you later.